Welcome back to another episode of Let's Chat Podcast, y'all. I am your host, JoJo.
And I'm Dyra.
Ooh.
New chair. Who this?
Oh,
You like?
I guess I should. First of all, don't mind me because I'm going to be. Y'all know I'm never focused on one thing. Diver gets to do that. I am going to be looking at the camera, looking at the screen to make sure our lighting is okay, to make sure we are in the frame, to make sure that the audio is recording and the video is still recording. Y'all know how I am. I'm all over the place during this thing. So with that being said, if you see me looking down at the iPad, it's because I'm making sure that our video is together. Anyway, yes, look, I forgot. We have a whole setup now.
Yeah.
Not a whole. Won't say a whole.
It's a work in progress.
Yes, it is still a work in progress. We bought these chairs.
Yes, they're like
probably hands down my favorite thing
black velvet
that we've ever bought.
Yeah, I love these. Are like, I feel like we're a little close to the camera now, so you can't fully see the chair.
Mm-hmm. It's a swivel, so if you see me turning,
yeah, there's a little swivel. It's soft. It has a pillow. Yeah, very nice.
The last ones we had when honestly, the ones where we were in the blue chairs, I don't know if y'all could tell at that time either. Those were like velvet blue chairs, but they were like
dining chairs, kind of like like dining chairs where you just kind of sit, but you can't really swivel and be comfortable in it.
Yeah, so those were cute at the time. I actually still have them, but they're not here. Anyway, so I told her, I was like, we're either gonna find a like love seat type couch or swivel chairs. Like I really wanted swivel chairs. And she found these on Amazon and we got them. We wasted no time.
Yeah. I would have bought them somewhere else. I don't even know where to shop anymore, y'all. I would have bought them somewhere else, but trust and believe, I have looked everywhere. I went to a bunch of Home Goods trying to look for a chair for my vanity and then for a chair for the podcast. Marshalls, TJ Maxx, you name it. Facebook Marketplace, I was in there every single day, looking, searching.
Yeah, she been OD on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, it's been like a month, and I was like, you know what? Like, these chairs make sense. They were affordable, and here we are. But yeah, I hope you guys like the chairs for the people who are watching. But this episode is gonna be about lesbian dating myths. I always have a problem saying that. Lesbian dating myths. Mm-hmm. Am I saying that right?
Myths, yeah.
And realities. Because I feel like there's a lot of, false
information
out there, or just people, I feel like people just don't know, And I was doing some research, and I found this from Teen Vogue. It says, of course, some stereotypes exist for a reason. Personally, do I own at least 10 beautiful flannel shirts? Yes, proudly. I also own around 30 pairs of Converse sneakers, and I literally have a rainbow tattooed on my body. However, I am fully aware that the next girl I swipe right for on Tinder might hate rainbows and think flannel is downright atrocious. So I feel like there's a lot of like stereotypes about like lesbians, and like not everyone owns a bunch of flannels. I think I probably own maybe like one or two.
You've at least owned one.
Yeah. There's one or two in my closet. And Converse, I don't wear those anymore because they hurt my feet. I used to have them in every color though, let me tell you.
Depends.
Like I had them in red, green.
I actually have a pair of Converses. My mom gave them to me.
You do.
But they're not like the traditional ones.
Yeah.
Well, I just haven't had like an opportunity to wear them because of the color that it is. Mm-hmm. But they actually are right. They're like some high top Jones. They're not like the original. But I like the originals. It just, I think I might have gave it away. I had a red
the white
pair.
ones. The white ones are the nice ones.
I actually want the platform ones. Not going to stunt. Mm-hmm. I do want them. Yeah. But,
Do you feel like this is still the typical like lesbian uniform? The Converse, the flannel.
I don't know if that's like, does it still exist? Yeah. But maybe not like how we remember it.
Right. Okay.
And I also feel like those eras of where like, oh, the flannel and the Converses were only for a specific group of people, you know?
Yeah, like Aeropostale, Hollister type of people.
Hey,
Which honestly,
I used to wear
I was
Aeropostale.
trying to be
I
down
could not
too.
afford a
No,
Hollister.
I had a bunch of Hollister shirts, Aeropostale, so crazy. Like we used to love those. And like honestly, going into those stores now, it is so dark. It smells so strong in there. Like I'm literally
Yeah.
gonna get a migraine as soon as I walk in. And things be costly. So I do not be walking in there.
I actually don't even know if they like these kids wear Aeropostale and Hollister anymore.
I don't know
Because I feel
either.
like
I don't even
they in
see
the
those
big
stores.
leagues, like they out here with Nike
Abercrombie.
everything. Yeah.
And Abercrombie is expensive.
Out here and talking about Pradas and Gucci's
And yeah,
and
good
whoa.
and too much, girl. Like
Baby girl, she got a Gucci scarf. What?
nah, I
I
really
can't.
am not a name brand girl. The things that I have name brand were gifts or they're probably fake.
And I'm okay with that.
And I really don't care. But I
That's how you
really
make it
yeah.
look.
Yeah, so if you ever see me something with something name brand, it was probably a gift
Yeah. And
or
she
fake.
don't know what the brand is.
Yeah, I don't. Like I really don't. But anyway, so I want to go over some of the myths that I found online and you tell me what you think about it. Number 1, if a woman has dated men in the past, she's just experimenting or might change her mind. I I want to talk about I guess the reality. The reality I wrote, it's fluid, but being in a relationship with a man in the past doesn't invalidate someone's lesbian identity. Coming out or realizing one's identity can happen at different points in your life. And we see this all the time, like with people who come out later in life and like celebrities like Sophia Bush and Niecy Nash, like they all came out later in life, literally dating people in their 40s, getting married in their 50s to women. So yeah, I feel like I really don't think it matters who you've dated in the past.
No.
Do you think that if a woman has dated women that like she could change her mind and date men?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Really?
Yeah. I almost feel like when you're younger, you're influenced. And I do think like there may have been times I think some of the things that I did was a little influenced by the friends that I was with.
Mm-hmm.
And that just being, for example, like how I thought I needed to have a type. Like, oh, well, I'm very comfortable being more tomboyish, so maybe I should present as such, where I'm a little bit more on the masculine side, because I have a friend that's that way. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, you know, I'm comfortable like that. So maybe I'm like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, or like I need to date femme girls because since I'm more masculine presenting, like I need to be with a girly girl.
Mm-hmm.
And I very quickly realized like no girl.
Why?
Um
With a girly girl?
yeah, like it's not that I don't like girly girls, it's just I have
I'm
a
not a girly girl.
no. I have a I have a sense I don't know what it is. It's a me thing. Like I think there are girly girls, cool, beautiful, like I could be attracted to them, but long term wise, I almost feel like or at least from my experience, I haven't been with someone like that girlish because I'm actually attracted to someone who's like an in-betweener like me. All right, so maybe here's the missing piece. My experience in dating femme girls when I was younger was an insecurity for me at some point because I felt like I couldn't embrace my femininity, that I
Mm-hmm.
had this pressure of I always needed to be in my masculine
Mm-hmm.
era. Like
Mm-hmm.
I always had to because I presented that way and because to them like in their mind like and that's how you get treated.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like that was where it kind of fell off for me when I was younger was because it was like, oh well, all right, because I choose to be the more masculine one and I present that way, then I guess I have to carry the role as some
Mm-hmm.
say the who's the man. Like I had to be the more manlier
Mm-hmm.
person. So that means like I didn't get the special treatment that I was expected to give,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't get that. Not saying that I don't get where you're coming from. Like, I don't understand how people are in relationships like that.
So like I know it still exists today, but I feel
Of
like
course, I mean
when
we
I
see it
was,
all the time,
yeah, like,
especially on social media.
yeah,
Like it's like I don't know. It's like I see it so often. I'm not calling out any creators, but like I just see it so often where it's like one person's always getting flowers, always getting flowers, always getting flowers. And it's like the other person, I'm like, what are you doing for her? Like, I'm confused as to how this is like equal.
yeah,
And like maybe one of them doesn't like flowers, but like, how are you spoiling her in other ways? Is my thing.
yeah. So I think like that was the like the not hard thing, but that became a little bit of an issue for me because when you're young, obviously, you know, again, it's who you're around and who you're influenced by that you think it has to be that way. And as I got older and into relationships, I realized, oh, okay, like it doesn't have to be one way.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's when, you know, I started dating people outside of the norm or the type that I thought I needed to date because I looked a certain way, you know, all
Yeah.
that shit. But yeah, I think like my femme era, not to say I don't like femmes, because you are a femme. You're
Mm-hmm.
not like, you're not, you give no STEMmy vibes, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You just, the type of femme that I like that you are is just more chill.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can get dolled up, you can do your face, you can do your nails and all those things. But it's like you have a chill side too.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just what works for me. I'm not saying like, oh, like any femme needs to present that way. Like if you want to be bedazzled at all times, baby boo, do you. Love that for you. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
fine.
When I think about what you're referring to, I think of like a Fashion Nova girl,
The baddies.
the
The
baddies, the
baddies.
IG baddies, and
Yeah.
they're beautiful in their own way. But I agree with you. I don't think I would be able to do that either.
Mm.
I just yeah, I just can't. Well,
Moving on.
another myth that kind of relates to this is that we can't understand our sexuality without dating or being in a relationship. So there's people that have never been in a relationship, but that they know that like they're gay or whatever. And I feel like you even hear this from guys that are like, well, how do you know if you've never tried it type of thing? And the answer to that is that like you just know. I don't think that you have to date someone to figure that out. I mean, if you want to, that's up to you.
Mhm.
But I don't think it makes your sexuality less valid. Um and it's funny because like you could ask the guy the same thing. Like, how do you know that you don't
Yeah,
like
there's like a double.
yeah, how you know you don't like guys if you've never dated them?
Mhm.
Like I just know I'm straight. It's because they're trying to normalize like just like straight is like the right way type of thing.
Mhm.
Um and I feel like I don't know, as of lately I just been seeing a lot of this is kind of like a side topic. People get comfortable when this man is in office. They get comfortable being more like homophobic. I feel like I'm seeing just a lot more problematic things on social media, and I don't know if it's because they're not filtering things, but it's really crazy out here. So I feel like people are just coming out their mouth, just literally saying anything to anybody because they don't care. Okay, myth number 3 is lesbians are anti men or hate men. That is a lie.
Hard negative. Very, 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 very hard negative. That is not fact.
Yeah.
I have so many like, all right, I'm not gonna say so many male friends, but
Mm-hmm.
some of the closest, like I do have very close male friends.
You do.
I do, and like it's not on nothing weird. Like
Mm-mm.
they're not. So I'll say this: they're not blind. Like men are men, and as a woman, regardless of if I'm gay or not, I'm a woman. So to them, it's like you're beautiful, but I respect the fact that you're gay and you have a partner, and I'm not here to like push the limits on none of that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I respect that, and I usually end up like really being cool with them because
Yeah.
it's like one. I mean, we kind of in the same jobs type shit. Like it's always been like, oh, we work together, but
Yeah.
we have interest in the same things. And I don't know. It's on some like homie shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I feel like you're the perfect example of someone who doesn't hate men. And like I feel like there's actually, I don't know, I feel like I see a lot of masks who have a lot of like male
Male,
friends.
yeah.
Like Ashley's always with her gym friends from the gym, and I feel like it seems like a homey relationship. Um and I feel like I wouldn't say I have a lot of male friends, but I have a lot of males in my life, like my father, my stepfather, my sister's fiance, people that I'm like close to and love, and like I have, I guess, good representation too of like fatherhood too. So I don't hate men either. Like I don't have a problem with it. I feel like people just confuse feminism with like hating men. And I think that people need to realize that feminism is just about having like equal rights. Like all genders need to have equal rights. However, I do know that there are some feminists that come off like they hate men. And I don't think they do a good job at I don't think they do a good job at being a feminist, because the whole point of it is just to have equal opportunities for all genders. Um, but yeah, that's just false. All right, number 4, myths. Lesbian relationships are always drama filled or dysfunctional. Honestly, so I do think that people stereotype, and I even use I'm gonna use as an example. Even when me and Jojo just moved to this apartment, I feel like we had applied to another one and we got rejected. And I didn't know if it was because we were lesbians or if it was because we had, 2 dogs. It would always be like, oh, someone else got it. And I'm like, that's so crazy though, because we have amazing credit score, good income. Is it like, I always thought, like, is it the dogs or is it just because we're lesbians? And honestly, a part of me felt like they're definitely discriminating. Like they probably have, I don't know, some type of stereotypes with lesbians, and I don't know. I feel like it is a thing that I've heard, that people think that we be fighting and shit. Not me and you, but just like gay people. Like
I
gay
never thought
people,
about that.
really?
Yeah.
Like gay people in relationships be fighting and shit. You never thought about that?
No,
Really?
I've never really thought about that. I mean, I could see
Mm-hmm.
how it would be, seen that way, but no, I never thought about that.
I've thought about it.
Mm.
I mean, yeah. So, I mean, and this is also why I like to do real estate, because I like to work with gay couples, and I give other agents minimal information when I'm helping them find a unit, because it's like you don't need to know everything. You don't
Yeah.
need to know everything. Like they could be friends, they could be a couple, you don't know that. But yeah, so yeah, no. Unfortunately, I do think that, and I'm gonna blame social media. They're the ones who give couples all of this fame for being toxic.
Mm.
Like we saw that girl with the tattoo on her face of her girlfriend. The most toxic couple I've ever seen in my life. Like just on social
Oh,
media.
Nerali, that's how you say her name, and Lauren.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, and they have hella subscribers on YouTube. And I really want to know, like, what is it that people like? Okay, I get it. Like, drama is entertaining, but don't y'all get tired of that shit? Like, I would never sit here and subscribe to someone and just watch them argue with their partner. Like, what? That's so toxic. Like, I feel like it's not a TV show. It's literally life. Like,
Mm.
it's literally their life. And maybe they are faking it. I don't know. Maybe they could be. But yeah, like I feel like people who have drama get famous on social media. And I've seen it multiple times. It's not just that couple. It's literally like 4 couples that I
People go
can
to
think
the
of.
extreme
Yeah.
for viewership.
And it's like, and what does that gain you? That gains you fame, but it's not good fame.
Yeah.
Are you making money from that? Like, I don't know. I mean, from YouTube, you could obviously make money, but are you getting any brand deals? No, they don't want nobody who's like abusing their partner. Like they're not gonna support that. But yeah, crazy. I wrote down like any relationship, lesbian relationships can be healthy and fulfilling, and not every lesbian relationship is filled with drama. I feel like every relationship could have their little drama. I don't think it matters if it's like gay, straight, whatever the case may be. I've seen a lot of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Myth number 5, lesbian means never with men. Um, I feel like there's been a lot of lesbians that have been with men. They just don't talk about it because it's not, who cares? Like it's like they tried it, they didn't like it, and that was it. End the
Yeah.
story.
It's you're not interested in romantic or sexual relationships with men
Mm-hmm.
at all.
At all.
It doesn't matter when it happened. It's just if it's happening. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you dated men before, okay, now you're a lesbian because over the last however long you've been dating women and you know that you strictly only want women, you're going to marry a woman. But I feel like nowadays there's a lot more of bisexuals than there are like lesbians
Mm-hmm.
that I
I
have.
think that people are just like more like sexually liberated, sexually fluid, and
Mm-mm.
not that the world is accepting of it, but I do feel like Generation Z, they're just free. They don't give a damn. Like they don't have these views like boomers have. They're really just trying to live their life, and who cares if they date a guy or a girl or whatever the case may be. Like I feel like they're more chill, very fluid.
Yeah.
Um all right. Number 6. All lesbians want children or have a traditional family structure. So I found this online, and I actually didn't never really thought that that was a myth. I don't think that all lesbians want children. Like,
No. Some actually don't. And
yeah.
actually like women in general, the amount of women that I've seen, they're like, I don't even want kids.
Yeah,
Like I got a list of reasons why I don't want kids.
yeah, it's a whole thing on social media, and they call themselves like being child free by choice. And sometimes I really do think about that too. Like, do I want kids? Do I like, do I want to adopt? Do I want to foster? Like, I don't know, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I think the idea of not having it, of not having kids sometimes makes me less stressed.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I think about the idea of having kids, sometimes I'm like, okay, well, I have to save a lot of money to have kids, number one. I have to have money because I would want my kids to have extracurricular activities. For example, like my nieces and nephews, they do everything. They do gymnastics, they do baseball, they do cooking, they like karate, like literally everything. Every day they have something to do. And not saying that every kid, needs to be busy 24/7, but as someone that didn't get that, I do feel like it's very important for them to use their skills and do something outside of the house. Like I feel like growing up, what I did was go to school, had to come straight home. Like my mom wasn't really about those after school programs like that.
Yeah.
When I was older, I was able to like join clubs and stuff, but like younger, like she wanted me to come straight home, and then I had to start cleaning. Like she was, as soon as we heard her coming in and we didn't start cleaning, we would be running, passing the vacuum as she was coming in. One person was washing the dishes, one person was, vacuuming, just getting things clean, because if she got home and things
Your shit
weren't
wasn't
and
done.
things
That's an
weren't
ass
ready,
whooping.
yeah, it was like a problem. Like, so it would have been nice if I didn't have to worry about that and literally just be a kid.
Yeah.
So,
But at the end of the day, I'm convinced that kids are always gonna worry about something.
of course they are.
Because
Yeah.
if you remember being a kid outside of your parents, like whatever you had going
Mhm.
on at home, like you still was worried about something.
Mhm.
Something at that time in your life was important to you enough to be like, I'm scared of that. I worry about that. Or whether that being school or a relationship.
Yeah.
And when you look at that when you're older, you're just like, that's crazy. Like, I really stress something like that.
Yeah. I agree. Number 7 myth. Lesbian relationships don't have gender roles.
That's the myth,
Mm-hmm.
that they don't have gender roles.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact is that they have gender roles.
I feel like we don't have gender roles, and we do separate things sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't be drilling holes in the wall.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a handy person, not at all. Like, I feel like I could be creative, but I'm not drilling nothing in the wall. That's something that you would do.
Not that I know how. I just do it.
But you have
I'm
a
just
whole,
like, fuck it. If I fuck it up, I mess it up.
and it's something that you want to do though. Like, you have a whole drill.
Yeah. Yeah, it was something that I kind of want. But like, girl, that's long gone.
What?
I don't want to be drilling holes and shit like that no
Oh,
more.
really?
Yeah.
That's it. You're done. You're
Yeah,
retired.
Yeah, girl.
At
After
30
I did all that work in the house.
At 30 years old.
After we did all that work in the house. No, because you do all that work and then when you decide to leave, you got to clean the shit up and then you got to go do it somewhere else. I didn't sign up to do it every time.
We're gonna have to get somebody from, what's that thing called? Rabbit or whatever.
Rabbit Task or
Rabbit
something?
Task.
Yeah.
Task Rabbit.
I was... Listen, when you're moving every year, you don't want to be Bob the Builder hoe anymore.
Yeah, you really don't.
But, when it's time to, like, you're forever home, and you're like, all right, and it's my shit to actually mess up, then all right.
Yeah.
That makes sense. It was funny because after I was drilling the hole for those frames, I was thinking like, dang, you really can't pull out all the stops in the beginning because once you show them that you know how to do something, they want you to do it all the time. And woo, child, we don't want to do it all the time.
Oh my God. I feel like that's for everybody though. Like, I hear so many times that like men don't be trying to do shit in their house. This is when they just figure it out and figure out how to drill.
TikTok University.
I'm gonna figure it out one day for sure. Number 8 is whatever you want it to be. I have one.
I was unprepared. I don't have one.
Oh, really? You don't have one?
Yeah. Nah, give me yours. Maybe it'll spark something.
The idea that dating girls is easier.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. As someone who's dated guys and girls are not easier.
No.
You really gotta put in the work and you really have to try hard. Like,
I think that's with any like relationship though.
Yeah, but I feel like with men you don't gotta try hard. You don't gotta do much.
I feel like yes and no.
Why?
Because I really think that it just depends. Obviously, sure. If you're speaking generally, then maybe. If you're generalizing them, but I do think that there are like you got the special group that's just like they not that easy. They're not as easy as you think.
I think they would be impressed by you paying for a date. Easy. I'll take out my card. Like, you don't gotta do this grand gesture of decorating and making. But
believe it or not, you got women that are simple as fuck and don't find and aren't into grand gestures and don't give a fuck about like I feel like that's the myth of women. Period. Is they all want to be pregnant and have kids. They all want to be married. They all want the home, picket fence lifestyle, and it's like no, that is not it at all. I feel like you have some women, like you said, who don't want kids, who just want to live a life without kids and be the fucking best great gay aunt.
Yeah.
And don't care about the wedding ring. Right. And
I don't care.
The big wedding.
I don't come across many, and I have yet to come across one.
Across what?
What you're referring to?
Oh, women that are like
simple. Yeah.
Really?
Just living their life. Yeah.
I'm not simple. I'm not a simple woman.
You please.
I live in a motherfucking fairy tale.
Yeah, she wanted all and more.
I do. And I give all and more. So why can't I have all and more?
Period.
Thank you. Thank you. If I can be somebody else's Princess Charming, why can't I have a Princess
Princess
Charming?
Charming.
I said what I said.
What?
I said what I grew up on Disney, okay? I said what I said.
Princess Charming. That's a new one.
Thank you.
I'm dead. Okay, so I want to read some feedback that we got from the last audio. So last week we had a new episode as well, but it was just an audio version, not video, which is what we're doing moving forward. So like every other week, it's gonna be video, and then the following week, audio, whatever. They said, I love the audio version today. I am visually impaired, so Dara, I'm sure you look good. Yeah, both sounded less stressed. Love y'all. So I had a question I wanted to ask Jojo to talk more about where she gets her clothing and how she dresses on a day-to-day from a masculine perspective. Yeah.
Per. I wish I remembered what our last podcast conversation was. But I just be scrolling on TikTok and I be seeing like, you know, these fashion influencers like posting their streetwear and their casual wear and their fancy things, you know, between men and women. And honestly, I think some of the flyest people are gay men and gay women. Like swag. But I be watching these people and I'm just like, that's so fly, but like I don't got the money to be looking like that. And I think I'm still trying to figure myself out because I low-key think that like I'm not as stylish as I would like to be. In my mind, I will be one day.
Yeah.
But in real life, I'm just like, I'm pretty like chill. Like I can potentially throw a fit together, but I'm still trying to find my style. You feel me?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, clothing, that's how I feel too. Clothing, I used to be really into fashion, and then I wasn't, because I feel like I had a job where, not that I couldn't express myself, but like sometimes when you work in education, like you gotta be wearing like corny shit like sometimes. But now I do see some teachers
I
looking
was
fly
like, you
as
see what
hell.
teachers look like now?
Right. But I don't have the funds, y'all. Like I'm right now, I'm on a no shopping thing, so I'm literally only wearing things that I already have. If I have something new, it's probably because Jojo bought it for me. But things be expensive. Like I'll be buying at H&M, and then some online stores. I haven't bought in Shein in a very long time. Sometimes their things are a hit or miss. I feel like to go on vacation maybe, but on a regular day to day, things don't last. Zara is really nice but very expensive. Like a little vest from Zara is like a good $40 to $60. And when you think about how much money you make in an hour, it's just like, I have to work how long to buy this shit? Hell nah. So I'm trying to, like, moving forward, I'm trying to get pieces that would fit, because this is the other thing with me. I lose weight and I gain weight.
That's what I'm about to say. That's one thing that's hard about finding your style is
Mhm.
because it depends on your body type too.
Mhm.
And it's like when you get inspo from certain like influencers of like, oh, like let me
They're all
replicate.
thin.
Yeah,
They're all
let me
super thin.
replicate that fit. It's kind of hard because now it's like, oh, that didn't look how I imagined it on myself.
It never looks how you imagine it on yourself.
That's how I always feel like was a thing for me. It was just like, damn, like why did it look like that on that person? And it's just
they're
like
a size 00.
right. So I definitely think it's getting to know your body type and what looks better. And I feel like you can find that now on TikTok. Like you have influencers that are like, hey, it's all about proportion. Are you tall but longer in the bottom or what, you know? So it's like proportionalizing. Is that a word? Don't know, don't care. And that's I guess what I'm still like on the road of figuring out. But like you said, I'm usually up and down in weight. So depending on, you know, where on the scale that I am will depend on like what type of look and clothing that I'm going for and comfortable in.
Yeah.
But like you said, I shop at Boohoo. Boohoo's like my number one. Still waiting on a partnership. Uh Zara from time to time if I feel like if I just work some overtime and I'm like, yo, vacation coming up or like there's an event like I want to look fly, I know I'm gonna go to fucking Zara or H&M and find something, at least a top, maybe a whole fit. But usually it's never a whole fit, I feel like.
I'm just so cheap.
Yeah.
I can't.
Primark, believe it or not,
But see, I like Primark, but the quality isn't
it's
it?
a hit or miss for
Oof.
sure. Um ASOS every once in a while if I'm feeling like I want to go outside of Boohoo and I can't
Feeling
find what I'm
risky.
finding. Yeah. Um and I don't know where else I've ordered from recently.
Yeah, I
But
feel like Boohoo is like your top.
it is. It is, but it's not always like the greatest experience.
And
Like
you
sometimes
do
I get
Boohoo Men, right?
yeah, I do
Boohoo
Boohoo
Men.
Man. I'll get a lot of tops, but there's times where like the bottoms I have the hardest times when buying men bottoms because I have thick thighs and it just it just don't be going with me. So it's like a hit or miss and then depending on the fucking material, it's a process.
It is. All right, question. I need advice. I broke up with my ex of 3 years after she chose her friend over our relationship. For context, we went through a lot together. We were homeless, got our first apartment, traveled abroad, and even went through a physical attack together. I thought we were in endgame, but she always had this friend, in quotations, who belittled me publicly. I had to beg my ex to stand up for me, even though I stood up for myself too. This went on for years. I had to beg my ex to stand up for me. Hold on, sorry, I wanna read it again. This went on for years and I finally had enough. There's so much more I could share, but the bottom line is that I'm devastated she chose a friend she hardly cared over me. I dedicated my life to her and it's been months, but I still can't get over it. What do I do?
What can you do? You guys aren't together.
Yeah, that's true.
You aren't together and obviously like you said it wasn't working. You gotta let it rock because what's the other option? To go back and receive the same treatment?
Yeah, I was listening to this podcast where this girl was saying that this is her tier of how she cares for people. It's her family, her friends, and then her partner. So like their partner was kind of last.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like maybe in a relationship that makes sense, but I feel like when you're in a marriage, your partner is your family. So that goes first and then your friends.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's valid.
Yeah, so she clearly just didn't value the relationship as much as you did. Like I feel like you guys went through a lot together, but
Believe it or not, people
yeah.
really have different ideas of like
Yeah, like right.
prioritizing like relationship or partner
Mhm.
between friends and family. Like,
Yeah, and I think it depends too. I feel like every situation is different too. Like your friendships with people are different. Like you might know someone for years, the other person you might have just met not too long ago. So yeah, it's tough.
find someone who chooses you.
Yeah, that's good. I agree. All right. That was it.
Oh, all right, cool.
All right, yeah, don't forget to damn, I forgot how to do this already.
Don't
Don't
forget to
forget don't
like, share, comment, and
don't
subscribe.
forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and leave us a rating on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to our podcast.
Yay, yay, yay.
Bye.
Deuce, deuce, mother goose.